A big miscalculation by Illinois' government when it comes to the money state taxpayers laid out for providing health care to undocumented immigrants. And Iowa state lawmakers consider giving themselves, as well as the governor, a raise. We'll get into that this morning with Scott County Democratic Party Chair Kay Pence and former Iowa Republican Party Chair Steve Grubbs. Great to see you both. We will start with Iowa, where Senate File 464 is advancing. State lawmakers are considering giving themselves a $20,000 annual raise and pay the governor $100,000 more a year. Right now, state lawmakers make $25,000 a year. The governor earns $130,000 a year. You can see how that would change. State lawmakers would also get more money for travel and housing while they work in Des Moines away from their home districts. Now, these proposals come up from time to time in different states and in Congress where federal lawmakers give themselves raises. This would be an 80% raise for state lawmakers and a 77% raise roughly for the governor. I guess how appropriate is this? Steve Grubbs.
You know, first of all, when I served in the legislature, 25 years ago, the pay was not much different. We were making a little less than that, but it hasn't changed much in 25 years. So I can say this. I think they earn $45,000 a year. It's not an easy job, no matter which party you're in. And if there's any time to do it, you can't do it when your state is running a budget deficit. The only time to give yourself a pay raise is when you are running a surplus. Now, it's extremely unlikely that 20,000 will be the final number. Usually they'll throw out 20,000, start there, and then compromise in committee and make it 10,000 or something like that. That's what I think is more likely. But I would support them in this.
Kay Pence, do you think it's appropriate for some kind of raise, regardless if it's the full proposal here?
Well, I think a raise is reasonable. It's been since 2007 since they've had a raise. What they also want to do is have a cost of living adjustment to go with it. But who else needs a cost of living adjustment is the minimum wage in Iowa. And it hasn't been raised since 2007 either. And it's stuck at $7.25. So a full-time worker on minimum wage makes $15,000 a year as opposed to a part-time legislature that makes $25,000 now. So I think that if they want to give themselves a raise, they should think of the other people, and including people in nursing homes. They get a $50 a month stipend to take care of their health care needs, and that hasn't, or excuse me, their personal needs. So if they need a hair appointment or some body lotion or something, that number hasn't changed in 25 years. So there's a lot of things in the budget that probably should be looked at.
Let's move to Illinois now, where state taxpayers have been on the hook for more than initially thought when it comes to providing health care for undocumented immigrants. An audit found it cost the state $1.6 billion since 2020. The cost of the program for younger people wound up running $359 million more than projected over 3 years. That's almost 3 times higher than the estimates. The program for seniors cost $412 million over 3 years. That's 84% more than the original projection. Governor J.B. Pritzker announced during his budget address plans to cut funding for that program that helps younger immigrants. I guess how much does this miscalculation hurt the governor in terms of maybe integrity and Illinois' budget challenges overall, Kay Pence?
I think one of the things that this really points out is how important it is to have a state auditor who has the free rein to look at programs. And one of the things they found that some of the people on this program have Social Security numbers. So they're probably citizens and they should qualify for Medicaid rather than this for the undocumented immigrants. And part of the thing with this program is it's cheaper to give people preventative care than to have them show up in an emergency room with a serious health condition and have uncompensated care for the health care providers.
Steve Grubbs, what do you think about that miscalculation, the impacts it has?
You know, I don't want to beat up too much on Illinois, but Illinois is in a perpetual fiscal mess. And whether it's their pensions or their deficits or their debt, or now, I mean, I just don't believe you can miscalculate that projection by that much. I've been involved extensively in forecasting at the state government level. It's been a while, but it should be easier these days and not harder. And I just think they intentionally looked the other way, threw out some numbers that were politically okay a year or two ago, and now they've got to pay the piper. But you know, at some point, Illinois and Illinois voters have to demand better financial management And this is just one piece of that, the whole mess that's west of the state of Iowa, east of the state of Iowa.
Steve Grubbs, K-Penn, stand by. Still ahead, presidential positioning. Donald Trump's speech to Congress highlights the political divide, what the administration's firings and trade policy means for the U.S. economy. For the record.